Okay, perfect.
And this type of problem, like with this thing, I
Yes.
that I'm also struggling with. I'm struggling with this and
That we're gonna do all these with a calculator so far.
oh, okay.
So we can go to the next. Let me grab this one. Okay, keep going. All right, got it. Got it. All right, got it. You're gonna go to the next. Got it. Got it. All right, got it. Gonna go one more. All right. Got it.
Okay, hold on. I'm on a Zoom. Right.
Got that. Okay, we better get through all of these today. If you want to, if you have your calculator, it'd be best to grab it. And
Okay, yeah. How do I get back?
oh, I'm gonna share my screen here.
Oh,
I have a lot of things going on my side screen. All right, but
I have my
we're actually gonna
calculator.
come back to the first question. So we're gonna start with number two. Um, reason is
Oh,
that might take the longest and it's the least applicable to what you're doing. So
okay.
here we go. Um, all right. So this symbol here, which you don't really know what it is, but it means area under the curve. So you have to find the area under this first curve here, which is a
Okay.
triangle. So the area of the triangle is 1/2 base times height. The base is 14 and height is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Looks like 7. You might double check that, but I believe it's 49 total on that.
Okay.
The next one here is the area under these two triangles. And uh, that is, 1/2 base times height again. So for the first one, gonna count here 15, 14, looks like 13 for the base, and the height of this blue one here, 15, 14, 13, plus 1/2 base times height on the other. So this ends up being 169 over 2 plus 1/2,
Where did
170 over 2, which is question.
sorry, where did the one plus the one half
So there's
or
two
the
triangles in
one?
this other one.
Oh, I didn't see that second one. Sorry. Okay.
Yeah, it's hard to see plus with my bad internet, which
Okay. Never mind.
very frustrating. I don't know why it's so laggy and
Oh, that's okay.
seems to go in and out.
That-
Oh, okay. Any questions on that?
Oh, that's okay. No, that was simple.
And you can always check these on your calculator. I recommend doing that because I do
Okay.
make mistakes. And, obviously don't want you to miss points for that.
Yeah.
Um, all right. So it says find the exact value of the integral using formulas from geometry. So if you were to graph this, it would look like this from -4 to 4. It's a circle. They want the area from -4 to 0, which is just this part on the left. It's a quarter circle. The area of
Okay.
a circle is pi r squared, but you want a quarter of it. And your radius in this problem is 4. It's the distance from the origin out. So
Hey,
radius of
why
4.
do we
So it's
want a
1/4.
quarter of it
Question.
or a fourth?
From
Is that
-4 to 0 is the x values.
okay? Wouldn't that be
Like that
half
gets into
instead
this, like
of?
it is, but it's half of a half. Like the circle, this is a full circle.
Uh-huh.
So that's pi r squared. If we look at the top half, that's a half. And if we cut that in half again, that's another half.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Okay. That's a good question. We're really rushing through this. There's like usually you would spend a full day on this type of thing in a classroom, full hour. So this ends up being 4 pi.
Okay.
All right. So any questions on that before we proceed?
No.
All right. Okay. So this is the first one where you can use your calculator. Do you have an 83 or an 84? What kind of
I
calculator
have
do you
an
have?
84. Yeah.
4. All right. So if you go to Math 9, which will be FN in, you'll see something that looks like this with a box, parentheses, D block. Let me
Oh,
know
oh, yeah, I see it.
when you see that. Okay. So you're essentially just filling in stuff into the box. 1, 3, 1 plus x dx, like that. So I'm going to go to,
And then you enter.
yeah, and hit enter. I've got to I did something different out that I use for these types of problems. But let me you have an answer
Yeah, I
on
got
that?
6.
All right, that sounds pretty good. Yep, the answer is 6. Okay. So you might think you've got it, but they do get a little bit more difficult than that. It is purely calculator stuff. Um,
Oh, that's so easy. I didn't know that.
yeah, yeah. So it's the same thing here. You're going to use x instead of n.
Okay.
So the only thing that might be challenging with this is, negative exponents, but it's the same exact setup. But use x instead of n, and I'm going to do it as well. At the end, you're going to get a decimal. So I'll talk you how to convert that into a fraction.
Okay. I got 0.9070.
Right. So hit math, enter, enter, and that will convert it to a fraction.
Oh, this is like my first time learning about this. It's funny.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, the um, the answer I've got here, 400 over 441.
Yeah. So I
Is that what you have? Okay. Now this does not work for everything. Like it works for a lot, like 80%. So
okay.
that's the good news. Good news is like, yeah, it just works. Okay. This is where it gets a tiny bit harder. I think what a lot of students struggle with is like entering this part into the calculator.
Uh-huh.
So just be
Can you
careful
still
with
enter it
that.
though?
Y- yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Like I think there's an issue with like you have to do 12 divided by x first, and then natural log of x cubed inside the parentheses. And so you may have to have a small amount of manipulation to do it
Oh,
correctly.
yeah, because it won't
Uh,
let you put ln x. So it's like ln parentheses again.
so you have to say that what I've got here is one sort of variation on how to enter it.
Oh, is that how I should enter it into the calculator?
Yes, yes. And you're
Oh,
basically just moving where the division by x is, but it still reduces to the same thing. It's just, yeah, and this is like, I don't know if you're going to get this on the test, so it's hard to
should
say,
I?
but this is the best we can do without getting into a deep dive of how to do this by hand,
Okay, so
which
should
you're
I
not looking.
make 12 over x the fraction and then next to it I put
You
um
can enter it exactly what I've got. I like 12/x. Like I don't know if yours puts the fraction bar in, that's fine too. So, somehow you got to get to this, which I know could be a little challenging. So I'm going to give you the answer. I just that's the kind of limitation of what we're doing is that I don't know if you know I don't have a TI-84 virtual one to help with this. So
Okay. I'm trying to, I keep
this
putting
is
it
the answer.
in
Yeah. I
4.3.
believe you can enter it exactly the way I have here on the top with all, that's the big ones are the given parentheses, and then you can
No, and then you add it.
follow it through.
Okay, yeah, I got 4.37. There.
So that's where it's like good news, bad news. Good news, you can use your calculator. Bad news, you gotta, use it correctly. Oh,
Yeah.
um, yeah, it's like having a car you can't drive.
Yeah.
Old people trying to drive a,
Okay,
know,
no.
electric car.
That's
All
funny.
right, sorry, that's sounded horrible. Um, so this one moves into just again another little complication here. It says the area between the curve and the x-axis. So what happens here is you start getting areas that are both positive and negative. Like here's a positive area, this is a negative area, and it wants the total area here. And so like the difference is that now you have to insert absolute value into your integral. And you don't need to know why, but and you can do this for all the problems, but I know it adds another little step. I believe
Okay.
that's under math something, maybe the second column.
Oh, wait. What do I input? I can still do the
I'm not sure where it
nine.
is. Say that one more time.
I can still do math 9.
Yes, but you have to include absolute value in it.
Oh, those are the straight lines. Yeah, those are
Yes.
somewhere. I've seen them before.
It's math, and I think there's a second column, maybe num. I'm not sure. I could
Oh,
look on
absolutely.
mine.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I got it.
So you
And
have to do that. Question.
yeah, so the X is on the bottom and the Y is on the top for the squiggly thingy. Yeah. That.
It's 0 to 8. 0 to 8. Yeah, this is called an integral. It's like
Oh, so it's like the smallest is at the bottom.
elongated as. Yeah, well, it's really called the left bound, and there's exceptions to everything we're saying. So try not
Okay.
to over complicate it. I know it's not ideal. 0 to 8. Absolute
Okay. I
value.
got 448.
You got 448.
Yeah.
Good. It's really good that you're trying to do these with me. That's the key to being able to obviously do it on your own. Um, so this is the same type of problem coming up here.
Okay.
So it's integral -1 to 3 absolute value 2x cubed dx.
I got 41.
Right. So next one here, same thing. Integral from -4 to 3, absolute value 4e to the x -2 dx.
Do I put the E in this as well?
Yes, yes, yep, the end. Yeah.
Okay.
So I
Uh-huh.
get 75.643.
Yeah.
Did you get the same thing or something different?
Yeah, I got the same thing.
Oh, good. Right. Uh, yep. Keep going here.
Okay.
All right. So this one is the same as the others. You're going to integrate that function, which is from 1 to 5. The reason it's 1 to 5 is that's the shaded area.
Oh, okay.
Absolute absolute
You're
value
look
e to the x minus 1 minus e.
okay. And you're looking at the X values for that?
Yes. Yes. These are always x values here.
Okay. Hey, I'm on Zoom. Yeah.
So I got 44.725.
Um, yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just double check. I think I take the test on Saturday.
Oh
So,
boy.
okay.
Right. But sorry. Next one here is same thing. Uh, okay. So this one here, the thing that's different about this one is that yes, you're integrating from 0 to 9. You see that right there from 0 to 9. It is
Okay.
absolute value 40.5 plus 2.12x minus 0.843x squared. However, it says this in here. It says that it's in millions. So you have to multiply your answer by a million, which is 10 to the sixth. So if you can, it'd be better to put that in front
Oh, okay.
if you can. If you can't, that's okay too. But it will make your life easier when you calculate this. So 0 to 9.
Okay. And this is all still the absolute value. How would you
Yeah, though you should always use it as the answer. Like without us like going into why, uh, you will never be wrong by using it. And of course,
and is it the absolute value when it's like a equation like this? Like a word?
it's area when it's
Oh,
asked for
what
total
area?
area. Yeah.
Okay.
Um, so the answer here that I got is 251,491,546.
Oh, okay.
Although, hang on, these answers aren't in here. So like maybe it's not absolute value. Maybe we're to the one exception. Yeah, so I apologize. So this one is not
It's not.
it's this one isn't absolute value, which I know could be confusing. So the reason I knew that is the answer is not wasn't close enough. These, but here's the answer, 2, 4. So there's no absolute value. Let me remove those.
Okay. I got
I know that would
oh,
ding you on this
okay.
5, 5.
Okay.
That's what I've got. And
How do you
then
know it's not absolute value?
Um, so all the previous problems said that check first to see if the graph crossed the x-axis.
Oh, okay.
Now, that's not really the official answer. That's just, hey, we're going to get this done answer.
Okay.
But that's the answer.
Okay.
The other thing is I noticed that the first number I wrote down wasn't 246 million, like they're telling you the answer. Um,
Oh, right.
so that was another thing. Uh,
Okay.
so 200 people in the area, it's about 246 million people have lived there. So the next problem here is to do the same integral, but from 3 to 4. So you might be able to do what's called a second entry, which is under enter, and that will recall your last answer. And you can usually edit it. That you only have to change the
Okay.
top, bottom, and the top limit. It can be very frustrating to keep typing stuff.
Yeah.
Um, that ends up being
I got
this.
37.523.
Yeah, don't forget that 10 to the sixth in front.
Oh, yeah, I forgot that.
Right. So the answer here, if we were to get sort of like what's the significance of this is the problem with like Social Security and Medicare is that there's too many baby boomers still alive, and it's this like it's not a bad, this is the way it is, but that's the point here is there's a huge population of them.
Okay.
Right. That is it for that one.
0003.
Okay, so the
Okay.
next grouping of problems require you to do a little bit of effort before you actually, I'm sorry, this one does not. So they give you the bounds of the integral,
All right.
and so that ends up being and so the idea is that if you were to graph this, you would see a graph of this and then that, and you would have to find the two intersection points, but they give them to you. And then it's supposed to be top minus bottom. So the top is the 3x and the bottom is the x squared minus 4 in parentheses.
How do you know that?
From the
Oh,
graph, you
hold
would
on.
graph each of these and you would know that which is top. Now, if you do it backwards, you'll just get a negative answer.
Okay.
Okay. But if you do it in absolute value, you always get the positive answer. So there's like, you either remember it's top minus bottom, you either remember that if you do it wrong and it's negative, that it's really positive, or you put it in absolute value and you don't care.
Okay.
But make sure you put that bottom in parentheses. Like that's super critical.
Oh, shoot. I keep forgetting to do the absolute value. I got 21.49, 21.5.
To do the math, enter on that.
Did I do what?
Math, enter. Convert it to a, see how it says simplify your answer? They're saying no rounding. You should get 43 over 2.
Oh, do you want, oh, put in a fraction?
Yes.
I didn't put it in a fraction. Why isn't it? It keeps just not putting in a fraction.
Sometimes it doesn't, and you have to sort of make sure you know what it is, meaning like you might compare the multiple choice answers to yours. Um, it is
Okay.
43/2.
43/2.
Um, any questions on that?
No, I think I got it.
All right. So this one you would graph as well, and you would end up getting
Okay.
kind of the same situation. This is not to scale, but you have to figure out the intersection points now. So you would put the first one in Y1, the second in Y2, and you would figure out where they intersect. Does that make sense?
Okay.
And
Yeah.
I can show you how to do that on a calculator,
I
or
just
if you
yeah,
feel
I
like you know how to do,
no, I got it.
I was gonna use a different tool to find the intersection points that's a little faster. And sorry, I graphed this completely wrong. It goes the other way.
I don't know how to find the point where they intersect though.
Okay, do you want me to show you how to do that on the calculator?
Yeah. Because I got it. I
All right,
have the two graphed. I just don't know how to.
let me grab my calculator here. 283.
Like, is it trace?
Didn't no second calc intersect, but let me get caught up to you here. X squared minus 4, and then 11 minus 2x. Now, one of the things you can do, but instead of graphing is you can hit, you're seeing my screen, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, you are. Instead of hitting graph, you can go to a zoom and do a zoom fit. Fit will attempt to try to get everything you want in the window. It can be a little frustrating if you can't see it,
Okay.
see the intersection. So this isn't the best window, but it will work. So if you go to calc, second calc, uh,
Okay.
intersect,
Oh,
you go and you choose the first curve and the second curve, like that. So enter, enter, enter. Now you could kind of trace and get it kind of like reasonably close. They're going to be whole numbers like that. That's the whole point of this. But you
okay.
really want to do it exactly here, and then find the other one. You do a second calc intersect on the other side, and you got to get reasonably close to it,
Okay.
which ends up being 3.
And then, okay. Did you do the other side or just that one?
Yeah, you have to do both of them.
Okay. Okay. And the other one's 5 and 21.
So you need the x values, just the x values,
Oh,
not the y values.
never mind. Okay.
So you're doing all of that to get um so you're doing all that
How?
to get the two bounds, and then you do top minus bottom again. So the top one is the line, which you can in the graph. So it's 11 minus 2x minus x squared minus 4.
Which one? How do you know which one goes first? Does it matter?
does not be, you mean the top or the bottom or the bounds?
Okay.
Like top, right? Bottom.
Okay.
Um, so we're ready to put this into the calculator and see what we see here. You could also use absolute value again if you wanted. Um,
Okay. I got 85.3.
if you want to again convert that to a fraction,
Oh yeah.
math enter. Yeah, so you're right. I got two. Oh no, this one said rounded to the nearest tenth. So you're right. It is 85.3. I think you said yeah, 85.3.
Okay. All right.
Any questions up before we move on to the next one?
No.
Okay. All right, here we go. Find the area between the following curves. So again, it's integral. This time they give you the x values right there. So you just use those. And then you could graph to figure out which was the top or the bottom. But like I said, it doesn't really matter if you use absolute value,
Okay.
which, we're not even talking about why. It doesn't matter why. But if you use absolute value, the order doesn't matter. Just make sure you put that bottom, whatever you're calling the bottom, in parentheses, especially if it's two terms.
Okay.
I appreciate you just going with it and not fighting me on why.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's like if you're ever in if you ever been around a kid that's 3 or 4, they just ask you why on everything, and you're like, I don't know why on everything.
Yeah, I know.
Uh, ooh, so yeah, this answer is kind of messed up. Be tough to enter here. Let me grab it. So your calculator will not do this one. It will give you a decimal, and they want an exact answer.
Yeah, I got 5.08.
Yes, and that's correct, but this is what they want. So do your best to enter this into the calculator there.
That's what they want?
Yes, because it said exact means no approximations.
Okay. Do you think this will be on the test when they say they want exact?
If I knew what was on the test, I would tell you. Like I can guide you to what I think will be on there when we look at the practice. Like it's always kind of the not the most difficult ones, but not the easiest ones. It's the one like if you get 4 problems in a type, you'll get, the two medium ones. But
Is it
again, like
E?
yeah,
Where's the E? Is it E to the
you can actually just you can actually just write the letter E when you're entering it in Pearson. So like this will be one of the multiple choice answers in your exam. So then you
Oh,
would take your 5.087 and you would enter all this and be like, I hope it's 5.087.
so it's E to the fourth on the bottom and then minus two ln two,
Yes.
right? Okay.
Yeah. And all this other stuff, 2e plus 1 as well.
Okay.
All right. So we've got one more question to go. This, for whatever reason, is the like one quiz that can be done in like our lesson time,
I
going
know,
at an
this is the
accelerated
fastest we've
pace.
gotten through one.
Yeah. Um, and it's just the way it is. Now this is a little slower here, but so ooh, really? You got a bad so and I got a user function. This yours is awful. So the first thing here is you compute what's called delta x, which is b minus a over n. This is a, this is b. 2 minus negative 2 over n, which is 4, which equals 1. So then you write the x values and you increment by delta x, so adding 1. So you start with the leftmost x value, which is negative 2. You add 1 until you get to the rightmost n value. Now,
Okay.
using left endpoints, you use these four numbers. Okay. Actually,
Okay.
let me I need to copy. I'm going to copy this because we need this a couple times here. So for the left endpoints, you use these values. For the right, you use these values. So in part A, the left sum is the delta x value, which is 1, times f of 2 plus f of negative 1 plus f of 0 plus f of 1.
Okay.
So you can see it's basically it's these four values inserted in for x
All right.
each time. All right. And so you put that in your, it's a lot of, it's e to the negative 2 plus 2, e to the negative 1 plus 2, e to the 0 plus 2, e to the 1 plus 2.
Oh wow.
All right. And so you got to get comfortable entering that into calculus. No integral symbol this time, just that. Um,
Okay. And that the answer to all that is part one.
I'm going to do that as well here. All right. So I got 11.99 for that.
No, I'm not even close. I got an error somehow. I don't know what I did.
Uh, I can grab I can share the TI-83 if you want me to share it, enter it. You actually don't need all these parentheses because you're multiplying by one. That's not necessary. So you really just need the stuff inside parentheses. And so that like the simplified version of it's e to the negative 2 plus e to the negative 1 plus e to the 0 plus e to the 1 plus 8. And the reason it's 8, you got four twos. That might
Okay.
clean this up a little bit for you.
Dude, I don't know why it didn't work.
All right, so for the right endpoints here, just make sure we get, you know, we'll make sure we finish. It's the same idea though, but it's f of negative 1 plus f of 0 plus f of 1 plus f of 2. Okay.
Okay.
And it's very similar. Like you're just dropping out this first one, but it's e to the negative 1, 2, e to the 0 plus 2, e to the 1 plus 2, e to the 2 plus 2. So that simplified version is it's e to the negative 1 plus e to the 0 plus e to the 1 plus e to the 2 plus 8. And I get 19.24 for that.
Okay.
Part C is the average. So you take your two answers, 11.99 plus 19.24, divide by 2.
So,
which is 15.62.
and when they say find the average, that's just like you automatically know to
Add
divide
them
it
up.
by.
That's right.
Okay.
Add them up and divide by 2.
Okay.
All right, so part D, the midpoints, this is where it gets a little bit, it's just even worse. So these were the original values. So you have to find the midpoint here, minus 1.5, minus 0.5, 0.5, 1.5. Okay. So this becomes e to the minus 1.5 plus 2 plus e to the minus zero point 0.5 plus 2 plus e to the zero point 0.5 plus 2 plus e to the 1.5 plus 2. And so you can again simplify that to e to the minus 1.5 plus e to the minus zero point 0.5 plus e to the zero point 0.5 plus e to the 1.5 plus 8. I get 10.48 when I'm all done.
What? Is it plus 8? Is it plus e to the 1.5 and then plus 8?
Yeah, kind of off to the side. Yeah.
I got 14.96. But I
Uh,
don't.
maybe I missed one. I missed one. That's the difference. That's why I always encourage you to check because uh, I make mistakes just like
Yeah.
um, yeah, that is
Okay. Hey.
all right. Any questions, thoughts on that?
No, that's all.
I believe that's everything. So if you're okay, let's stop there a little early today. And
Okay.
I guess we got a lesson tomorrow. Is that right?
Yeah, at 11.